For question number 1, this is the fundamental principle of counting. We have 3 things to pick. We have to pick a first letter, we have to pick a second letter, and we have to pick a third letter. So we have 3 different events. We have 3 choices for the first letter, and then once we've picked a letter, we only have 2 for the second, and then 1 for the third. So we should have just 6 different code words. Let's see what they look like. We can start with an F, and once we start with an F, we can start with an F, we can start with a U, and we can start with an N. If we start with an F, then I have 2 choices for the second letter. So I could have FU and FN, and then the third letter, there's not a choice. If I have F, U, then I have to have N. If I have F and then N, then I have no choice but U. If I start with a U, again, I have 2 choices for the second letter. I can have UF or UN, and then I don't have a choice for the third. It would have to be the missing letter. And if I start with N, then I can have NF or NU. And once again, the third letter falls into place because I only have 1 choice left. So there are my 6 choices. And even though they consist of the same letters, obviously, they are different codes because they have a different order. They have a different order. One thing I might want to notice also is that 3, 2, 1, I can write that as 3 factorial. And not that I would ever consider it, that's really over 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1. And I can think of that as 3 factorial over 3 minus 3 would also give me that 0 factorial. Just something to think about. For question 2, we are again using the fundamental counting principle. We are having 3 events. We need to pick 3 letters. And because we have 8 letters to work with, we have 8 choices for the first letter. And then once we've picked 1, we only have 7 for the second and 6 for the third. So 8 times 7 times 6, whatever that is, I don't know. But what I do know is that what's a little more interesting is that whenever I have numbers that are decreasing by 1 every time, I could almost think of that as 8 factorial. But it wouldn't be 8 factorial because I'm cutting it off after 5 factorial. And 5 factorial I could consider as 8 minus 3. And so then this begins to look a little bit like what our definition was for permutations. That if you remember, the definition for permutation was this. We had P, N, R, and that was n factorial over n minus r factorial. So in fact, this I could consider a permutation. I could write this as a permutation 8, 3. If I'm going to look at question number 2, again, fundamental counting principle, we have 3 students that we're picking from 400. So if we're going to pick a president, well, there are 400 choices that we can have in that first event. Once we have picked a president, we have 399 remaining for the vice president, and then we have 398. And again, I can think of this as 400 factorial over 397 factorial, which is interesting because 397 is really 400 minus 3. So once again, I could write this as a permutation. This is a permutation, and notice we have 400 students, and we're only taking 3. Question number 4, same sort of situation. We have 4 choices, and in this case, we're again looking for something in which the order matters. The thing that we're going to put on first, well, we have a choice of 4 items, but once you've put on the turkey, let's say, for example, then you only have 3 items to layer on. 3 items, and then you have 2, and then you have 1. So, in fact, I could consider this also as P4, 4, because that would be 4 factorial over 4 minus 4 is 0 factorial, and 0 factorial is 1. So yet again, this is a situation where we have that fundamental principle of counting, but we can also consider it a permutation. Question 5. same sort of situation, 5 classes, and we're going to do homework from all of them. So that means that we have a choice of 5 subjects to do first, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and this, in fact, again, can be considered a permutation. 5 choose 5, 5 factorial over 0 factorial, in fact, gives us exactly what we have. Question 6, we only have time to do 3 of the assignments, so this is 5 subjects that we can choose for the first thing we're going to attack, then 4, then 3, and this again, I could consider this a permutation. This is P, and I can say I have 5, and I'm going to just choose 3 of them. Notice this would be 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial, which is exactly what we have. Question number 6, the second part of question number 6, 5 students in a class. So 5 students in a class, well, we're choosing 3 of them. This would be 5 choices for the president, 4, and then 3, which is again permutation of 5 choose 3, right? 5 factorial over 2 factorial, exactly what we have. And if we have the word kitsch, well, we have 5 letters to choose from, then 3, and then 2, and we're only choosing 3. So this again could be fitting into that factorial formula. And here's what you should notice now. What you should notice is that there's a similarity here. The first number is the total number of choices we have. Either we're picking 5 letters or 5 students or 5 things we're piling on a sandwich, and 3 is the number of those 5 that we're actually going to be ordering.